Welcome to another fun-filled episode of A&B Sports Media, the podcast. My name's AJ.
And I am Bill, and I'm already hearing the voices in my head.
That is absolute. Do you want to talk about that?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we actually have a pretty decent amount to cover, and
We do.
this is going to be our first technically virtual one since
He didn't want to see me today.
Yeah, I couldn't. I didn't want to see his face, dude. It was too much last time.
Bullshit.
But no, we have essentially, what is it? Just thunderstorm warning and stuff like that.
Yeah, as I'm looking outside, it's bright and sunny out.
Well, behind your condo, it's like all dark.
I can't see that way yet.
Yeah, from my house, I can see all that way. It looks fun. But yeah, we got some stuff to get through today. So, Bill, any fun stuff from this day in sports history?
Yes. Today in sports history, which we failed already the past, couple weeks on saying that we're going to start on Monday, and it's now August 15th. Let's see. Let's get down to business. We're going to do, rugby. I haven't seen rugby on here yet. 1903, New Zealand's All Blacks play their first rugby test match against Australia's Wallabies at the Sydney Cricket Ground. New Zealand wins 22-3, and then from there on out, destroys the entire universe, becoming one of the greatest rugby teams. 1905, Philadelphia A's future baseball Hall of Famer pitcher Rube Waddell no-hit St. Louis Browns 2-0 in 5 innings.
Old school names just hit differently.
They really do. And we'll top it. Here's a good one. In 1912, Yankee Guys In sets the record by stealing home twice in one game.
Stealing home twice?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know. Good for him.
That's actually impressive.
It is. But otherwise, that's really all we're going to leave with the news today regarding today in sports history. On to the regular news. Real quick, we're keeping an eye on the Philadelphia Union right now, who is currently in the Leagues Cup, and they're doing well. They're actually going to be playing against Miami tonight, against Messi, and that is going to be some wild stuff. They are going to be playing, I don't know where. Actually, I don't know where. They don't say
They're playing in Philly, I'm pretty sure. Well, not
actually,
in Philly, but
no, they are playing in Philly because Gabe, our previous guy, bought tickets and he's going.
Well, fun fact: there was concerns that the storm was going to affect the game, and everyone was like, "God damn it, dude!"
I don't think it will.
It probably won't. I mean, to be honest, they're just kind of hyping this storm up. I don't really think it's going to be too much.
Yeah, I get it. But yeah, Gabe is going to that game. So if you see him, you won't recognize him because we don't have cameras, obviously.
Which we're fixing.
Oh God, when?
When?
Is it on right now?
No, it's not.
Thank God.
It's not at all.
I am not decent.
No, I'll show you later, and this shall be you know what? You guys will find out eventually. But Bill,
I'm in my jammies.
There are plans brewing that.
Oh no, he didn't tell me about plans.
I didn't tell me about plans.
You did not. Anyway, though, so they're playing actually in about 15 minutes. I'm hoping this is going to be probably the biggest matchup that's going to be for Philadelphia. This is what's it called? Miami has been on a tear recently. They currently are with the Leagues Cup scoring at least 3 to 4 goals every game. So Philadelphia really needs to pick it up. But it should be a fun game to watch tonight. Otherwise, just quick news in the boxing world before I get into UFC, but we'll save that for later. Anthony Joshua, one of the guys I was ranting about yesterday, did actually fight last weekend. I had no idea. And what's it called? Won by knockout again in the O2 Arena. And he knocked out Robert Helenius. So we'll see who he wants next. Apparently, he wants Deontay Wilder, so that would be interesting to see.
Oh, that would be fun.
That would be fun.
Excuse me. Yeah, and then we actually have some really, really, really crazy news going on in the NFL. I'll start with we'll kind of go a little bit chronological order. Ezekiel Elliott is signing with the Patriots on a 1-year deal.
Really?
Yeah, and can you guess who the Patriots face week 1?
The Cowboys?
Nope.
Yeah, us? No.
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, baby. So his very first game is against a team that is just getting completely stronger on defense, and he's not getting any younger. So that's going to be terrifying for him. But I'm excited. I'm excited to play
Yeah,
him.
no, that's gonna be something.
And also, Dalvin Cook has officially signed with the Jets, also on a 1-year deal.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so the Jets get even more scary offensively. They're already a pretty good team. Now they have Rodgers. Garrett Wilson is becoming a superstar. They had Brees Hall, who's still like an absolute stud running back, who's relatively young. And this kind of begs the question for a lot of fantasy owners of Brees Hall, who's on the Jets, and Ramondre Stevenson, who's on the Patriots. They were expected to have extremely good years, especially having kind of like a full year under their belt, kind of getting used to it. We all saw the potential, and obviously the next year kind of pop off is what we were all expecting, especially since Brees Hall he was coming off an injury, so expected him to kind of get back at it, and then Ramondre Stevenson. Always had like a bunch of running backs around him, just kind of siphoning carries. So we were expecting, both of these guys to get like 20 plus touches a game. And now both of these guys have elite talent around them that's going to take into kind of their touches and their carries. Um, Brees Hall probably more so than Ramondre Stevenson, because Brees Hall necessarily he's going to be shared with Dalvin Cook, who definitely is a little bit more explosive nowadays than Ezekiel Elliott. Kind of see Zeke more as like the bulldozer, like get to the goal line and let him just kind of run it right in.
Yeah.
Even though Ramondre Stevenson can do that for the Pats, I feel like Stevenson's going to be more like midfield. Once he gets to the goal line, give the Zeke, and then when it comes to the Jets with Brees Hall and Dalvin Cook, that's going to be a two-headed monster that it's going to be hard to stop them. But
Yeah.
normally with these super teams in the NFL, they always underperform. But have you watched any of the Hard Knocks yet, Bill?
I watched the first episode of the Jets Hard Knocks, yeah.
I haven't finished it, but I
was
liked
good.
Robert Sal's his whole speech, the whole what there's. I'll repeat it too for people that it's not word for word, but he gives a story about how there's only one bird that has the absolute balls to fight an eagle, and
The crow.
it's a crow. And what a crow does is it keeps pecking at it. It like latches on. It keeps pecking at its neck. And the eagle doesn't, it doesn't really fight back. All it does is it soars extremely high until, the crow can't really breathe or even it just kind of falls to the ground and die. And his whole, analogy was there's all these crows coming at us. We just have to soar extremely high so that they kind of fall off and die. And I thought that was really cool. And that was an immediately start to the episode.
Yeah. It was a good way to start the episode, though. Kind of set the tone, honestly.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see Zach Wilson's looking a lot more, confident, especially getting Tulas from Aaron Rodgers. So I'm curious to see, what he learns and how he progresses, especially preseason. That's really probably the only time we're going to see Zach Wilson until Aaron Rodgers is done there.
Yeah, very true.
Also sticking more with the running back stories, J.K. Dobbins, he's activated off the PUP list. That's extremely good news, especially he's another young running back who has extreme talent. We've seen him pop off in the league, but injuries keep holding him back. So we're hoping he stays fully healthy this week, or not this week, this year. But this week, the number one running back to go out of the draft, he's expected to make his debut against Cincinnati. So we're excited to see what he can bring, because he was picked, I believe it was 8th or 9th overall. But in the first round, so that's a very high draft pick. And last week he was shown to be running back 3 on the depth chart, and all of the whole internet went crazy. But so Zach Ertz, our boy Zach Ertz, he's cleared for full football activity, which
good.
I'm excited. You always want to see the good old Eagle getting getting back healthy and showing off why
back
he
in
was a
action.
stud. Exactly. But well, speaking of Eagles and not a good news, Sean Bradley suffered an Achilles tear during the preseason, and
No.
he is going to be out for the season.
That's a shame.
I know he was also a young guy that we were all excited to see, and he was starting to come into his own. So, speedy recovery. Hope he comes back next year strong as ever, but we're really going to miss him on that.
Yeah, no, I agree. That is a very big shame. I hope he has a nice, easy recovery.
Yeah, I mean, Brandon Graham, who, he's towards the tail end of his career. He had the Achilles injury, came back and had statistically the best year of his career.
True.
So,
True. Sometimes you can come back from that.
Exactly. It just depends on how hard you grind, how hard your mentality is. So, hope to see him back soon. But continuing on that preseason game though, did you see any of it, Bill? Because the Eagles look scary.
I watched the highlights of it. I didn't get the chance, to watch the whole game, but I did enjoy how they looked.
Yeah, I'm a real big fan, and the only people I really wanted to see were just the not even the full first quarter, but
Yeah,
what I did see from them was Jalen Carter. He's going to be an absolute friggin' monster, dude.
I think so as well. I think he's going to be very good.
He almost had his first not like official sack, but like first play of the first preseason game ever. He almost had a sack. It literally was the guy just got the ball off in time. So it's him on that D line is going to be so fun to watch. But and he's also been so they're doing joint camps with the Browns.
Yeah, I was going to say they were playing. I was going to ask if they were doing it still with the Browns.
Yep, they're still doing it with the Browns, and dude, there was a two-time first team All-American O-line, and Jalen Carter, the rookie, put that man on his ass and got 2 sacks too. So he's been popping off, and especially with the high talent that he's going against, doing this, it is gonna be a fun year. But jumping onto offensive side of the ball, though, DeAndre Swift and Rashad Penny looked really good.
They did.
So Sanders, I think I forget if it was a 3 or 4 year deal that he got from the Panthers, but he's like $6 million per year. All of our running backs combined is $6 million. So the fact that Howie Roseman keeps swindling people and getting Swift and Penny, who are both in their own rights, running back ones on any other team. Obviously, injury concerns brought them to us. I mean, if they can stay healthy.
Yeah, I think as long as he can stay healthy, obviously goes back to the what's it called for not like trainer, but whoever the people that what are they called? Trainer.
I mean, it would still be your trainer, but you have your your conditioning coach.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, conditioning.
Coach. You also have people that help you necessarily recover and stuff like that. And actually, Rashad Penny came out and said that the Eagles which is funny because for the before COVID, I believe we just had 3 years in a row of just injury prone seasons. But he said that when he came to the Eagles organization, this is the best he's felt his whole career, which is crazy. He said that, and he credited the whole organization and how they handle recovery and how they handle player health and stuff like that. So I mean, dude, even if they both get 5 to 8 touches a game, that's really all they need, and that's all we need them to do. So they're going to be a tandem, and Kenny Gainwell. Apparently, in camp, he's looking like the team sees him as the starting running back, the RB1, and that's with Swift and Penny. So this backfield is going to be disgustingly good.
That is very true. They are.
Blankenship
get any time? I didn't see.
He didn't play. He's a starter. He's not officially named, but he didn't play in the preseason. He didn't dress with the start. The starters didn't really dress.
I gotcha.
But thank you for reminding me too. In the camp, he's picked off Deshaun Watson today 3 times.
Oh shit! Really?
3 times that man has picked Deshaun Watson off. So 2 things. I think both can be true, but 2 things are a possibility. One, this man, we got an undrafted free agent stud who is
Yeah.
like going to be
What-
here for a while.
Watching him last year, honestly, I was like, this guy's really good. And we need to take advantage of him when every game that he was in last year was fantastic.
100%. Like once CJ Gardner Johnson got hurt and he stepped up, I was like, we
Yeah.
didn't skip a beat. Like that's crazy.
He had 8 tackles, I think it was. Total 8 total tackles, and when he played in the Saints, 4 at the Giants, 5 again at the Giants, and then 6 in San Francisco in the at the NFC Championship. He didn't play in the Super Bowl though. Shame.
No, I mean, because at that point, like you're
Yeah.
playing your guys, and also Jonathan Gannon really just fucked up the whole defensive scheme.
I know.
Like it's crazy to think about that too, considering that they got hit with tampering because of that game.
Yeah.
Like I'm like not making excuses. We should have been in a better position, but like that is a crucial part of it.
Yeah. He even recovered a fumble in that San Francisco game. I was surprised. I thought he had
Yeah, no,
interceptions.
so-
Am I wrong?
No, he didn't have an interception in that game. That was one of the main.
All right.
So in the San Francisco game, that was one of the main games where they actually came back.
Yeah.
Where it keeps coming back because Deebo Samuel, they did like I think it was a wheel route or sweep or something like that. And Reed Blankenship, you see him, he reads it the whole way and just sprints at Deebo Samuel, who is very he's well known and very good for making people miss and getting yards after the catch and just all that kind of stuff. He straight up made a really nice tackle, made Deebo Samuel fumble, and then recovered it all in the same play.
Yep.
So he
does have one interception though. It was back on the 27th of November against Green Bay. That's when he got the one interception and got 4 yards off it.
Was that the game? I don't think that was the game that CJ Garner.
No, because before that was Arizona and then Indianapolis, so it had to be Arizona.
Okay.
Because then when he came on during Arizona, he got 2 tackles, 2 total tackles, with 2 assists and and 1 beat. No, that's later down the line. He has a stuff. Yeah, overall though, his stats look pretty solid though. So honest to God, I'm hoping that he does well at this as a safety.
I think he will. I think if
he does well, he gets my jersey. He gets a jersey then.
I'll gladly rock a Blankenship one.
I would.
Dude, like that's a fire jersey, especially Kelly Green.
Yeah, exactly.
But coming back to the offense too, and it's another story in camp, especially with the Browns practice with them. The Hurts to either Smitty or AJ Brown connection. Apparently that's in mid-season form, which is nuts. And every single video I've seen, obviously it's training camp, preseason. You don't really want to take too much of it, but these joint practices kind of show you glimpses. Even if it's very consistent glimpses, it still shows you glimpses of what the season's putting forward. And the connection is just the fact that we have both of these wide receivers for the foreseeable future. I know Smitty's coming up to contract talks, but I think he's just like Jalen Hurts. He'll get his, but he'll make sure that he's good for the team too. And it's how he rolls. The man's a cap wizard. But to have these 3 guys can be the core weapons in our offense is we struggled for years finding that one guy, and now we have 2. So this whole season is making me excited. My family actually asked me, they're like, the Eagles are playing. I think Thursday they have the preseason game. I forget the exact day, and this kind of leads into what I was saying. But at this point, I don't care about preseason Eagles wise anymore. I've seen what I wanted to see from the new guys, Jalen Carter, Penny, all them, and stuff like that. It's cool to see the developmental guys, but at this point, I'm just ready for the season. I don't even care anymore. It's more just now because of fantasy things, watching a lot of the other teams, seeing if I could find some diamonds in the rough for fantasy. But I need September to get here now so I can start watching meaningful football, especially in Philly, and hopefully have the Phillies start putting their playoff push into motion too. So September is going to be a fun month.
Yeah, just to answer your question though, you were right though. It is Thursday against the Browns at 7:30.
That makes sense if they're having joint practice. Is it at? It is at the Browns. Okay.
No, it's here.
It's here. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, intriguing. Would you ever go to a preseason game, Bill?
I mean, I wouldn't mind it.
Like,
I don't think.
say it was like $40-$50.
Oh,
Would you do it?
absolutely. Then.
Yeah.
Yeah, dirt cheap like that. Why not?
How much are?
I'll look it
preseason?
up. Keep going.
Okay. Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff, and this is a funny. Oh, did you find it?
No, yeah. Keep going.
Okay. This is something I did not expect at all. So the Commanders fan base, they finally got rid of their owner who was an absolute POS. Finally starting to see some development in a lot of the young guys. The Commanders fan base is actually, they have a hashtag reclaim the name petition going on, and it's getting close to 100,000 signatures for them to go back to the Redskins.
Wow, that is actually a lot.
That's a lot of people that I did not expect want them to go back to the Redskins. Like, yeah, Commanders isn't that great, but after the whole, debacle of the Redskins, I didn't expect the fans to be like, yeah, bring it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny because that's starting to get there. Did you find the price?
I did. It depends on how much you want to spend.
What's the minimum? Because that's probably nosebleeds.
The minimum of the minimum is $17.85.
It's only $17,
and that is section 217, which means you are in the top nosebleeds, row 13, which I think there is only 13 rows. And we're not going to sit there. And you know why?
Why?
It's the family section. And you know what's a part of the family section?
What?
It says no alcohol permitted.
Oh, what kind of families are those? Those aren't fun ones.
Boring. However, hear me out. Hang on. For $88.90, we can get to section 111, row 2, seats 15 and 16.
Okay.
And you are quite literally at the front row.
And how much is this?
$88.90, and that is after taxes and fees.
Oh. Huh.
But that's that's an end zone spot. I'm just letting you know.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's something to consider. That might be a fun Thursday night. But
I know, I'm looking around. Hang on. Because I'm trying to find the tickets that aren't resale.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're significantly cheaper. Because if you do the resale ones, they're like 100. Actually, okay, let me double check one other spot.
To be honest, this is like $60 to $70 is probably my threshold for a preseason game.
Right. And I just wanted to make sure.
And you'd have to confirm that they're playing at least 1.5 quarters.
All right. Last but not least, I'm raising it bar up for you a little bit.
Is it a box?
No.
Damn it.
I'll look into boxes in a second. Row section 116. So it's kind of like where we sat before, but a little more into the 50-yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Row 1, seats 7 and 8, $71.40 each.
And this is after tax?
After tax.
Oh.
Lastly, hang on. I just want to see. Yeah, too much money. Never mind. Moving on. All right, let me look at boxes. I don't usually know where the boxes are. I don't know if they're doing boxes. Sometimes they're weird. Oh, no, the club seats, let's say 50-yard line. We'll look at these.
Let's say 150.
I mean, 138 in the front and literally in the center of it. Like on the 50-yard line, box C22, row 1, seats 9 through 12, 4 tickets, $138.04 each.
That's actually for box seats, because normally they give you shit too.
They should, yeah.
Yeah, if you get box seats, they normally here you go. So
sometimes I don't know if it's actually a box though when they say it's a box. It's the club, so they should have something, but I don't know. Sometimes they're a little weird.
That's a good point because when you go to the Flyers game, there's the box seats, and then you have the club.
It's like the Phillies Diamond Club that extends beyond. We're not going to talk about that anger that I have about that, but.
Oh shit! Well, speaking of Phillies, actually, today is the anniversary that Harper hit his grand slam walk off against the Cubs.
Oh, that's a good one.
I I was rewatching that video because it was obviously all over my feed. Excuse me. He hits an absolute moonshot, and I've never seen a man sprint across the bases as it looked
So
like.
excited.
It looked like he hit a double and it was just hustling so he could make it home. Like that's how it just crazy was. Well, we're gonna stick on the Phillies actually, but so the Phillies the past few games actually have not looked that good. They I chalked it up to bad umpiring, but I looked at some statistics, although the umpiring was fucking terrible, like absolutely brutal. I looked up some statistics, and the Phillies, the past two games, excuse me, they were 0-14 with runners in scoring position, and they left 17 men on base. Like this is just the last two games.
Yeah.
That's horrendous. That like that. It looks like looking at those stats. Like obviously, watching the game, you could just tell that they're all locked in. Outside, it's baseball. You're gonna have a few bad games here and there, and just watching like the past like 20 games, dude. After that, Trey Turner ovation, which I'll get to in a second too. This team just looks like they're having so much fun, and it's like I think Schwarber he fouled off a pitch off his foot, and I think he came out of the game. They're probably just cautious with him, and they walked. You normally when someone like comes out of the game is injured, you think that like they be all pissed off and be sulking a little bit, and no, they were just in the dugout dicking around. Like JT, so I couldn't see what like lip read what he said, but Schwarber just like chucked his gloves at him. So the vibes are rolling with the Phillies. I wish they had another Dollar Dog night. I really do.
I am over Dollar Dog Night. I'm sorry. I don't think I'll ever go to one again unless somebody else buys the tickets and we're in the private room, because that was a mess this year.
Well, yeah,
unfortunately.
but we also weren't in,
Yeah, we weren't in the room. I know that's my fault, but
well, not just the room. Like we were just, it was just a traditional Phillies experience, and then we had, honestly, those lines were absolutely brutal. But at the same time, like those lines, take out Dollar Dog Night, that they only 20% less. So
mhm.
you need to kind of do the diamond jobs.
Yeah, I know. I done goofed it. I admit it. I did. But
I mean, we still had a fucking blast.
we
Like,
did. We had a nice spot.
Yeah. So even with like them not bringing in runners and stuff like that, hopefully they can right the ship against the Blue Jays. The last time we faced the Blue Jays is when JT got ejected. You remember that?
Yeah. I forgot about that.
That BS call where John Boy even made a video out of it where the umpire threw him out because he thought that JT moved the glove, just some petty shit. So
yeah.
But the Phillies, hopefully they can right the ship and continue to look like as dominant and on fire as they were, because they have an 85% chance to make the playoffs right now. I think them and the Cubs were the most improved playoff odds since June, and also since June 3rd, they have been. It was 40 wins and 20 losses. I think, yeah, I believe that's still the correct amount. And the only team with a better record than them is the Braves. So the Phillies since June 3rd are not arguably, they have been like one of the best teams in the league. And that's even without Trey Turner being, where he's at now.
Yeah.
And since the ovation, like the standing ovation, which was absolutely awesome. Like all of Twitter before the ovation was like, yeah, we're going to give him a standing ovation and stuff like that. And to be honest, I was a little worried. I was hoping, I was hoping for what we got. But at the same time, I was a little worried because Philly can be up, just everywhere. But since the ovation, he's played in 9 games, 37 plate appearances, 6 runs, 16 hits, 6 doubles, 2 home runs, and 10 RBIs. He's hitting a 4.57 average in that time span, and his OPS is 1.286, which is absolutely fucking outrageous.
That is outrageous. Oh my god.
That is absolutely astonishing. And then, do we even want to talk about the Sixers?
I know there was something going on with Harden potentially being traded to the Clippers, but that's really about it.
No, so he wanted to go to the Clippers for a long while, but Harden, I don't even know what he was doing. He was like in China at an event and stuff like that,
Ah,
and he was speaking, and he said, "I will never play, or I will never be a part of Daryl Morey's organization. He is a liar." And he goes, "And I repeat," and says it again.
I
Um,
gotcha.
but what's crazy is that Joel Embiid, who this man is very socially in tune and he knows what he's doing outside of maybe like that one press conference. He's removed the process and Philly from his location on all his social media,
Hmm.
which is crazy. PJ Tucker came out and said, he's with his boy Harden. So it's looking like a Philly civil war, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I'd be more into it, but ever since the playoffs, I don't really care. I have the Eagles and Phillies, and even the Flyers are now at a better spot than where they're at.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see the Flyers play again. I'll probably go to a game or two. Usually when the Devils come around is my go-to time.
Yeah, you and Mikey can never go to a Penguins game, like a
No,
Penguins
we're
game
never
again.
allowed to go to a Penguins game ever again. I've already made that what's it
Abundantly
called?
clear.
Sure, yeah. I will never go back. And I'm going to keep it that way because hell no. I'm not
What's the record you guys have?
for the Penguins.
Yeah,
I think we're 0-2 or 0-3.
that's impressive.
Yeah, we're just shit when it comes to the Penguins games. Every other game that I went to last year or the year before when I had the season tickets,
Yeah,
worth every single penny because they won every single time. Very just overall happy about that.
yeah, but and that's because I didn't really want to get more into the Sixers because I'm over them.
Yeah.
So let's roll into the UFC because I know we got
Yep.
some good ones coming up.
Yes, we do. So real quick before that, though, like before we get into UFC of next week, we're gonna go through UFC of last week and how
Ooh.
angry I am.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
know. I'm
yeah,
excited for this one.
I genuinely am pissed off because I had an opportunity. I had a belief that I was going to win some good money.
There was an idea.
I'm posted on Twitter. I had a bet that was Roundtree to win in the first round by knockout,
Mhm.
along with what is it? Cub Swanson to win by knockout or decision. And then lastly, I had Dos Anjos to win by either submission or submission or decision at the end. And actually, wait, let me double check that. I think that may have been knockout or submission. I'm not sure. But the thing is, that's what I gave everyone. But I realized something when I was doing some research for while I was researching the fight for Roundtree and Dawkins. So I was just sitting there and I looked at it and I realized I was like, wait a minute. Um, Dawkins has been knocked out in the first round in less than a minute in the past two fights. So I was like, okay, I'm all about this. So I made a separate bet that was a parlay inside of a parlay. And I was right. It is knockout and submission for Dos Anjos. But and I changed it to have Roundtree win in under half a round. So that means at 2.5 minutes the bet's over. So
Yep.
I'm everything's all, hunky dory for a little bit. I'm like, okay, everything's cool. I'm ready to go. And I start watching the fight. Meanwhile, while I'm watching this fight, I'm on a long walk and like coming back from like a long walk on the beach. Don't have any access because ESPN shuts down. So I'm literally standing on the street and I noticed a guy in watching it on his TV outside. So I'm just standing there in the middle of the road watching the fight from a distance on a TV that's probably maybe 14 inches. I don't know. Or like big as your like normal computer screen. And I'm just like, all right, we'll see what we can do. And I tried to just keep an eye on the time the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And by around I think it felt like 2 minutes, I was like, all right, I give up. This isn't gonna work. It is what it is. I'll just move on. And I was just like, okay. I checked the time later, and turns out he did win by a knockout in the
Yes,
first round
you did.
at 2 minutes
Yep.
and 40 seconds.
By 10 seconds.
I was losing my goddamn shit. And to the point where I was just like, why? Why, God, why? Like, why are you doing this to me? And that was when the bet was over for me. But at least for the podcast, I was like, all right, at least we got this going. Cub Swanson won in a very controversial decision. I didn't believe he won either, but hey, I'll take the win. And then the last fight, Dos Anjos did lose via decision, and I at least hedged my bet and took a Cub Swanson and Luque bet just on the side when I was out at the casino that week. Now, here's the thing with that, too, and this is a great story as well. Fun fact about the Tropicana in Atlantic City. Costs $35 to park there right now over the summer. Don't know what's up with that.
It's obnoxious. In this
It is.
economy?
Yeah, no, thank you. So the ticket only pays out $60. It is actually not worth me going to drive down back to the shore to go cash out the ticket there. It's actually more feasible for me to go get a letter, get stamps, and cash it out that way and send it to Vegas.
I know for a fact you actually ran the numbers and figured this out too.
I did.
Yeah, I remember so vividly. I was at a festival this weekend, and I also joined in with Billy. I was like, you know what? He's adamant about this. I'm with him. I'm with him too. And I had no service like majority
Oh, yeah.
of the day, so like I was just like, you know what? Screw it. We'll roll with it. Whatever. And I just remember I somehow got the text, and I looked down, and it's just in all caps. We lost by 10 seconds.
I was pissed.
I started crying in the middle of the concert laughing.
Because then I'm like, wait a minute. It's saying he won at 2:40 on the time.
Yep.
Because it's showing it on the website right now, too. It's saying, oh, he won at 2:40. No, he won. He knocked him out at 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2 minutes and 40 had elapsed by then. So that pissed me off like hell.
Yep, because technically it doesn't matter until he,
Yep, until the ref stops the fight.
Yep.
So that happened. Was not happy. But either way, so that was last weekend's fight card, Luque versus Dos Anjos. Now the big one this weekend. This one is huge. This is UFC's 292, Sean O'Malley versus the champion, Aljamain Sterling. This is going to be at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on August 19th at the TD Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. I did look at tickets for this too. Way too much money, but I had to give it a shot.
Fair enough.
There's a lot of good fights on this card. Unfortunately, there was one canceled bout for Cody Garbrandt. He got removed for whatever reasons, and that is a shame. I actually do want to bring up there is one fight on the early prelims. Andre Protowski versus Gerald Meerschaert. Fun fact about Andre, he's actually training right now, because he's probably on his way up to Boston soon. He was training in New Jersey for this fight. I have a friend of mine that works or trains at a mixed martial arts gym. I think it's in Audubon.
Mm-hmm.
And he was training out there.
Huh.
So it was pretty cool to see that happening.
So does he have the inside scoop for us?
I don't think so. I'm not going to ask him about that. But that's yep, it is Audubon. Team Tano Martial Arts and Fitness. It's on the Black Horse Pike in Audubon. Andre Petrosky was training there before this fight.
Yeah.
I'm not going to really make a choice on this one just because they're both really just like really old veterans. So I'm curious how it would be. But I'm just going to let this one pass. Otherwise, we finally get back in the prelims. We have the middleweight bout, Gregory, aka RoboCop Rodriguez, versus Dennis Tillin. I'm not even going to try to go through all that.
that's a lot of IUs and L's.
I'm not even kidding. It is spelled Tiuliulin.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah, no, thank you.
It's just Dennis.
It is Dennis. It's not even Dennis. It's Denis. Denise.
Denise.
Could be Denise. Anyway, I'm going for RoboCop on this one. The man is still a walking, living legend of just unstoppable power. They're both coming off losses, though, so they're both going to be fighting for it. I would say Gregory Rodriguez by knockout in this case. He is very heavily favored, though, at minus 335. So you may want to try to take a knockout in a certain round. Maybe the first or second. I could believe either one of those. I don't think it's going to go to decision.
To give some more context, Gregory, he has a 62% chance to win by KO, TKO. And I think submission is 23%, decision is 15%. So KO, TKO is probably going to not be too great of odds, but good enough.
Yeah.
But
I wouldn't
Denise
take
is
the
90% for KO, TKO.
It's going to be a knockout, but Gregory does have a really strong chin. The only issue is now, can he still have it? Because his last fight, unfortunately, got knocked out hard.
Oh.
So we'll see how that goes. But for the case of Dennis, too, I think he was knocked out as well in his last loss. I'm trying to find out, but UFC's website pisses me off.
Yeah.
Oh no, he got submitted by the Turtle. That's right. I remember that because I've been keeping an eye on Ju Young Park. I'm waiting for him to fight again in the higher ranks. We'll see when that happens, though.
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on from that, another big return actually in the middleweight division is Chris Weidman coming back after a very long hiatus of getting his leg snapped when he was fighting Uriah Hall. Great time. That was back in April of 2021. Chris Weidman at the time was on more of a downward slope of his career, losing to Souza and then Reyes, and then came back against Akhmedov in the middleweight division, but unfortunately threw one leg kick to Uriah Hall, and his leg was so strong that it literally snapped his leg in half.
Oof.
Yeah, that one's a shame to say the least. But he is now coming back. He is currently 15-6. 6 wins by knockout, 4 by sub, 6 first-round finishes. He will be facing Brad Tavers, who recently just lost his ranking in the middleweight division, and he is currently 19-9. And it should be a good one overall. But this one's probably going to go to decision, if I would believe so myself. Brad really doesn't have that KO ability, whereas Chris has been like all around not like big into that, like 40% knockout, 30% decision, 20% sub. I'm expecting this one just to be kind of like a slow roller.
Yeah.
But cool to see.
It looks like it.
To see the least. But last but not least, too, we're gonna get into the main card, and this actually changed up a lot. So this is gonna be pretty good. And with the bantamweight bout, we got what is it? Pedro Munoz, ranked 10, versus Chito Marlon Vera. That's going to be a good fight overall. Pedro is going to be facing some good competition against Chito Vera. The only thing is, Chito's last fight did not look great. And I'm not saying that negatively, but he fought Corey Sandhagen and just got absolutely wiped. The thing with Chito is he needs to pick up the pace right away. He's too much of a slow roller sometimes to where it actually can be very detrimental to his match. So I would honestly say it could go by knockout. They both have knocked people out before. Chito is very good at it and also very good at subs. Pedro is more in the sub, so this may actually not be a ground game thing. This may be more of they know their levels when it comes to takedowns, and they may just strike. And if that's the case, I think Chito does take it. We just need to see it happen.
Yeah.
So I would take Chito by knockout or decision. Do those double bets. I think those are really their best way to work. and go from there.
The double bets really do give you good odds.
They do. They help out a lot. Bantamweight, I actually don't know these two as well. I know why these people are up here now. Damon Blackshear and Mario Batista, I think were originally on the prelims, but got moved up because of the Cody Garbrandt fight that got canceled. So that's a shame for them, or shame for Cody, but good for Damon Blackshear and Mario Batista, because that means then they have a chance in the limelight of one of the biggest cards this year. And the reason, I don't know why I can't click it, but Damon is currently 14-5-1, 2 wins by knockout, 9 wins by sub. Does a couple takedowns, a lot of head strikes. He is currently on, it looks like a 2, maybe 3 fight win streak. I can't tell with this one here, but that was back in 2023. This man has fought. Wow, he actually fought a lot this year alone. March of 2023, June of 2023, and August of 2023. And he is currently on a streak of just wins. I don't know what happened to this one, though. So I don't think this one actually had anything. So he may be on just a 2-fight win streak. Yep, there's a no contest. I'm assuming it's that. Anyway, that's right. This guy is nuts. He just fought last week. That's right.
He's fighting. Really?
Yes. No, hear me out. Damon Blackshear actually fought last week and won via a submission called a twister. A twister has only been done 2 other times. And one of them is held by Bryce Mitchell, and the other one is held by a previous fighter. I don't know his name off the top of my head. He's that is incredible, though, that he got it. So this guy's going to probably take it to the ground again, too. So this was him just turning around, making his money. So Mario Batista, now going to him, is 12-2, 3 wins by knockout, 6 by sub, 5 first-round finishes, good amount of takedowns, good striking. He is currently on a 2-fight win streak. 3-fight win streak, 4-fight win streak, 3 of those being in sub. So here's what I am going to just say about that now. If they are both technical fighters and they both like to go to the ground, this is going to be a standing match. Now, does Damon have the striking to beat Mario? I have no idea. Does Mario have the striking to beat Damon? I'm not sure, but one of them is going to knock him out. Now, the thing is, Mario had more time for a camp to rest and everything. Damon is coming on a week's notice to fight somebody he really hasn't trained for. And he's going to be not as tired, but he's not going to be able to get his body back to 100% physical just to go back to fight again. However, his odds are plus 240 right now, so that's looking pretty solid. So I may take Damon Blackshear's money line just to cover all options, whether it's win by knockout, sub, or decision. All right, and the next crazy one coming up, before the co-main and the main, the welterweight division. This was another quick change. Ian Machado Gary will now be facing Neil Magny instead of originally supposed to be facing what was his name? Who was supposed to fight? Crap. He should be fighting. I have no idea.
His fears.
That too, yes. The Irishman facing fears. He is fighting. God damn it, news. Work with me here. Jeff Neal. That's right. So this is a week's notice for Jeff. So that's going to earn, for Neal. So that may be a little tough. So just to go through the matchups real quick, Ian is currently 12-0, currently on just an absolute tear of immaculate striking, showing the pride of Ireland that he's the second coming. Not like McGregor, he's more classy. He's very cocky, just like McGregor, but he's not, always up in your face as much.
Yeah.
Neil Magny's currently 28-11, and both are coming off wins right now. Both Neil is a true gatekeeper of the welterweight division and always an incredible fighter to watch. So this is going to be very good. The thing with Ian, though, is we finally saw him not crack, but we saw him actually get stunned from a shot, so he's not immortal. So we're going to see how this striking goes. Neil is usually playing in the long run where Ian will probably go for a knockout. But overall, The knockdown average for Ian compared to Neil is by a lot. Knockdown average per 15 minutes for Ian is 1.15. So that means he's averaging a knockdown at least once a fight. That's pretty good because that usually can be the end. Neil is currently at plus 350. Honestly, I would take Ian via knockout. And if you can parlay it to add one knockdown to it, I would, just to sweeten the odds a little more. I don't know if I would put rounds, but I would do Neil by knockout or decision and then add that plus one or more. I think it's one knockout or knockdown just to make the bet a little bit sweeter.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to the co-main. We got the women's strawweight title bout, Zhang Weili versus Amanda Lemos. This is going to be actually pretty good. Zhang is actually a hell of a champion, very strong, very durable. She's actually like fun to watch too. She's currently 23-3, coming off her last win. Amanda Lemos is 13-2, no contest with a win as well. Amanda is also incredibly strong, and her the other team has also Zhang's team has understood that may be a thing. They both will swing for the fences. They both go for knockouts, 48% of the time for Zhang, 62% for Amanda Lemos. So that's going to be a very close match. I'm very excited to watch what happens. Maybe this women's strawweight title belt has been flying around. It's not been able to be held down by one person for a long time. Yes, Zhang has held the belt multiple times already, but she's been beaten before, and then it can happen again. So in this case, let's see what the odds were. No money.
There are no odds.
All right, no odds at the moment. Honestly, whoever's the underdog in this one, I would take. If it's Lemos, it's not a bad bet.
I'm about to say, because I'm pretty sure they would give Lemos the underdog, considering Zhang's like the champ. But
it doesn't happen. No. I'm going to tell you that now because I'm looking on DraftKings just to make sure. Because that statement, surprisingly, I was wrong. Okay, never mind. I was going to say sometimes the champ may be the underdog in certain situations.
That's true, but this is Zhang.
Yeah, Zhang is very good at what she does. I'm trying to just look on DraftKings to see if it comes up and then go from there.
It's confusing that they don't have the odds for this one.
It's only on the website though. So if you go on to DraftKings, Zhang Weili is minus 305. Amanda Lemos is plus 245.
She's plus 245?
Yeah, I would take Lemos any day.
I feel like that's severely underrating her right now.
It is.
Like,
so
yeah,
if you did if you did Amanda by knockout, it's plus 500 odds. I would take that.
100%. Yeah. I'm gonna take that.
I know you are.
That's my Bills bad bet of the day.
Oh no, I have a poll card or parlay I'm going to set up in a couple minutes. And then lastly, we have the bantamweight title bout: Aljamain Sterling versus Sean O'Malley. Aljamain is the current champ. He's 23-3, coming off a win against Henry Cejudo. The man is good. What I know, the UFC probably doesn't want him as a champion because they'd rather have Sean O'Malley because of his great charisma, but you can't doubt this man's skill. He is a hell of a grappler. He can strike. He can do everything. He is built for this. Honest to God, if Sean gets grabbed one bit, I think Aljamain takes him over and just finishes him off there. Aljamain, again, I can't stop singing the praises. He was given a lot of shit when he lost or won the belt originally from I can't remember his name because I'm blanking now. Lost the belt from Peter Yan, and that was because of him getting kneed illegally. But then he fought him again, won via split decision, then knocked out Dillashaw, then won again against Cejudo. It's not he's held the belt for three defenses. That's fantastic. He is top level competition. Yeah. Now, the person he's fighting though, Sean O'Malley, also fucking scary as shit. He is 16-1 with 1 no contest. He has 11 wins by knockout, 9 first round finishes. He is currently on technically a 4 fight win streak. Yeah, I would say 4-fight win streak. And overall is probably the most fantastic striker that you can see. He has incredible length, incredible reach. He uses his, he thinks properly as he fights. He has one of the greatest fight IQs. I wouldn't say the greatest because I give that to Volkanovski, but overall is a fantastic striker. He's going to need real good takedown defense for this fight. Honestly, I would either take Sean for knockout or Aljamain for submission and leave it at that. I wouldn't go crazy. I don't think it's going to go to distance. I think one or the other is going to knock each other out.
I was thinking the same because Sean O'Malley's also got plus 350 odds for KO. So
Yeah,
I feel like that's where you go. You don't go money line or anything. Just go KO.
that one's straight KO.
Yeah.
So just making my thing. Unfortunately, I can't do a full one because, it's not DraftKings doesn't have everything set up yet besides the championship fights.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll make an updated one later, but I'm gonna have Gregory Rodriguez, Ian Gary. I'm gonna take Lemos, and then I'm gonna take Sterling as well. I actually believe Sterling can win it. And if Sterling wins, wins or loses, he actually plans on going up to featherweight after this. I know that's weird. It goes flyweight, bantamweight, featherweight, where he may or may not face Alexander Volkanovski. That would be a hell of a fight too, but we'll see how that goes.
That would be. So I also have a parlay too, Bill.
Go for it.
It's a pretty simple one. It's Lemos money line, and then O'Malley by KO TKO. But it's KO TKO and then decision. Or do you think?
Gotcha.
Do you think? Hear me out. Curious. Now we're just gonna stick with KO TKO.
Okay.
For $10, right? If you
Yeah.
a $10 bet, that's 148 payout. So
That's not bad.
not bad at all. I think that's a good one.
Yeah, no, I agree with it.
But yeah, I'm excited.
I'm very excited. I'll probably have people over this weekend to watch it again.
We'll put it on Craigslist.
No, I don't plan on putting it on Craigslist. And then we're very excited for that.
There was a big thing that happened too in the NFL world that I completely forgot to bring up too. Bill, you ever watch the movie The Blind Side?
Yes, I've heard about this. The guy said it was all a lie.
Yep. So, quick synopsis, because we are kind of running close on time too. Michael Orr, who he's a former, I forget if it's former or if he's still in the league. I know he's relatively in his career. But Michael Orr, he was assumed he was adopted by this pretty much well-off family. There's a whole movie about it. Sandra Bullock plays it. She's a dime. But the whole thing is that they pretty much brought him in. He showed prowess obviously in high school. He went to Ole Miss, who was their school and stuff like that. And pretty much it was this all nice lovey-dovey story how they helped this young kid out, and now he's in the NFL and he's playing. Well, Michael Orr, the offensive tackle, he actually filed a petition Monday, and he requested because he requested to do this, to close this specific thing, which I'll explain in a second. Most people think that he got adopted, and he at first thought he got adoption papers. Well, instead, they gave him a conservatorship, right?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it correctly. Regardless, what this is conservatorship removes the decision-making powers and duties from a person with a disability who lacks the capacity to make decisions in one or more important areas. And you do this in Tennessee. After you're 18, you can do this. He thought he was getting adopted. They made him sign this. So he filed a petition. He alleged that he found out earlier this year he was actually under conservatorship and not adopted. So this is completely brand new.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
That is insane.
So, internet's gonna do its thing, and they
Yeah.
just constantly been like throwing out memes and everything. There's actually a whole bunch of people that want Sandra Bullock to give back the Emmy
Nah,
that she won. It's like, bro, she didn't know.
yeah, she didn't know. That's not her fault.
Yeah, like just when you watch the movie, now you know. And in the movie, they do actually do a decent job towards the end of like alluding to them kind of getting like, it's never like confirmed. It's
Yeah.
not heavily implied, but it's like there. It's like, oh, this might be it.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to hear that.
No, it is. Just to give you a quick update on the Union game because I found the channel. It's 31 minutes in and Miami's up 2-0.
Oh yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah,
Who
maybe.
Did Messi score at all?
I don't know yet. I didn't yet. I'm gonna look now.
Yeah,
hang
and
nope, never mind. Corner kick.
All right. And to give you an update too, Phillies are playing Toronto. They're 0-0. But hey, listen, everyone out there, all the 8 listeners I know that are out there, hopefully more, hopefully a lot more. All we ask, it's a very simple thing that we ask, is that you follow us on @AB Sports Media on Twitter, now X, and reach out to us via email at our email, billandajmedia@gmail.com, because we love you guys. We want to interact with you. We actually have a few questions, but since we are kind of running out of time now, those questions will be answered. I know that there's some people that emailed us that are like, what's happening, but trust me, we're going to get to them. Just especially nowadays, a lot of things are happening, especially, playoffs coming towards, or not playoffs, baseball getting towards the end of its season.
Yeah.
NFL starting to come back in. UFC is having some really fun cards, and then
There are. Yeah, and the end of the year is going to get wild with UFC cards.
Yeah, so I promise we'll get to your questions, and please send us more questions like that. That's actually really fun to read and
oh, damn it,
think about and stuff like that. What was that? Almost a goal.
Almost a goal is a corner kick.
But yeah, that would be swell, fantastic. And please also too, tell your friends about this podcast. We have a blast, making it, and I think it'd be fun to grow, the community. So please tell your friends, follow us on Twitter, email us. But at the end of the day, my name is just AJ.
And I'm Bill.
And thank you again for listening to our podcast, the good old podcast of A&B Sports Media. Yeah, so enjoy. We'll see you guys next week. Toodaloo.
If gambling has become a problem for you or for someone you know, please call 1-800-GAMBLER to seek free, confidential 24/7 problem gambling assistance. You can also text support to 53342 to get more information about problem gambling behavior.